Join us on VOP. Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Or start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. Showing from 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. Well, it's the last day of the month of September, and we await the beginning of a new month with a lot of anticipation, really, because October comes with Nigeria's independence and also a protest. Well, we will be looking at all of that on the show today. Good morning to you. Welcome to the program. This is VOP This Morning on Voice of the People Television, and I am Moses Humphrey saying good morning to you.
And I'm Tina Okechukwu. Welcome to today's show.
My name is Chukuma Okoro. Good morning and welcome to VOP.
All right, staying with the looming protest come October 1st, which is tomorrow. Well, we are not backing out, says Deji Adeyanju. Oh well. Well, as Nigeria marks its 64th Independence Day, protest is set to commence across the nation, reigniting demands for an end to bad governance and rising economic hardship. The rights activist and convener of Concerned Nigerians, Deji Adeyanju, has said that government might be stubborn this time, but there is no going back. There's no backing down. Oh well. That's one of the things that we will focus on this morning, of course.
Plus, Serap to INEC obey court orders of face contempt charge. Serap has called on INEC chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu swiftly enforce the court ruling directing INEC to investigate bribery cases and other electoral offences involving governors and their deputies during the 2023 general election.
Right, these are the major topics of discussion for today. But before we move into that proper, we have all the interesting stories that made it to the social media. Shetima, the Vice President of Nigeria, returned to Abuja after representing Tinubu at the Ongada's United Nations General Assembly. And Nigerians are like, okay, welcome. We saw how it happened, what happened during that particular UNGA 79 session in United, in New York City, where Nigerian government is talking about debt waivers and all that. But I'm here. I'm happy to know that we have a vice president back again. Come on.
At VP, welcome back. The party is over.
I didn't see that coming.
No, the party is over. So you come back and meet your principal, who said he was staying back to take care of problems in Nigeria. Unfortunately, the problems don't seem to abate. I mean, prices of food items, price of fuel, inflation is still soaring, very high. So it would be nice to have Mr. Vice President back so that he can collaborate with his principals to ensure that the promises made to Nigerians during the 2023 general elections are up.
The Minister of Power talking about how Nigerians are enjoying 40% of Nigerians enjoying 20 hours of daily power supply. And what we want to ask?
The 40% will be those on band A, right?
That is one other question to ask. And the other one is, people are saying, I don't really think I have over 20 hours of power supply at all.
Regardless of whether you're on band A, B, or C, power supply is still epileptic.
Nigeria
if you ask me.
You see, the point of it is this: we have our government, the way they turn out figures and statistics, and Nigerians always quarrel with it. Last week they said unemployment rate was 5.3%, and on my diaspora show, people in the US said no. Someone said it should be like 50%, and last one said it should be like 95%. And here we are, the Minister of Power, Siva Adelabu, has said that 40% of Nigerians enjoy 20-hour power supply. And I asked you, I mean, you studied a particular course for 4 years, and they set an exam for you, you scored 40%, and you expect people to clap hands for you. That is total failure. Even the fact that it is not correct I mean, how did they measure that 40%? Is it the 5,000 megawatts that goes around 40% of Nigerians? Clearly not so.
Country of
Oh,
over
well.
250
Million
million people,
Oh,
having
well.
just 40% power supply.
Oh, well, that questions are still being asked as Nigerians are struggling with the figure. Nigerians don't believe that that figure is accurate. We're talking about the vice,
Vice President.
talking about the VP now, representing the president. There were speculations that Nigeria almost lost its day one spot, at the UNGA, because usually presidents that are present are allowed to speak first. So the fact that Nigeria was being represented by the VP, it took career politicians to ensure, to play around things and ensure that Nigeria's uh, day one spot was retained, and the VP was able to address
General
the
Assembly.
assembly on the very first day. And if Nigeria had lost that spot, it would have been bad because we would have
What did you
allowed.
gain with the first spot?
We would have allowed.
What did you gain with the
I
first
was about to
We
say
would
that.
The point is this: the one that said that the VP was going to represent the president.
Well, the
I
VP
asked
did.
a question. He did, and he read a speech.
A speech.
My question was that a downgrade? And look at what happened. It was almost a downgrade, for Nigeria. And if
How was it a downgrade? How was it a downgrade?
Did you listen to the speech of the Ghanaian president?
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Moses,
But
you
how
need
was
to
it
go
a
back.
downgrade?
Moses,
The
Moses,
VP,
we were
the
struggling.
VP, the VP.
We were struggling, to take a slot on the first day.
But I,
The slot-
but
the
don't-
slot
don't
has
To
you
been
think-
emphasize our primacy,
But
the primacy
if-
of
if-
Nigeria in West African, in fact, in global African politics.
But you come,
Regional African politics.
isn't it in line that the president will say, I want to stay back? Remember that when this UNGA 79 session is to hold was when we have floods. Devastating
Finland, you have
Nigeria.
flood. You have flood. The
flood. We
president came to sign
we have
it.
so many
The
people
president
dying
came
in
back
Maiduguri,
during
and
the
not
flood
just that
and
also,
went to UK.
don't you think
Why
that's
didn't
actually
he?
a good way, for him to show Nigerians that, okay, I got you people of mine.
Fina, let me concede. It was a good way. What have we achieved now since he stayed back?
Well, the
I don't know, I'm
conversation,
just asking.
around Nigeria getting a seat at the council.
UNSC.
Yes, that conversation is still ongoing.
Yeah.
If that
It's
is
been,
if that
it's
is
been
if that-
ongoing for a very
well,
long
if
time.
that is given to Nigeria, that would be an achievement.
Do you merit it? Brazil is also asking
But-
for.
but-
India is asking
No, for Africa.
For Africa.
For Africa.
Okay,
Yeah.
for Africa. Do you merit
Nigeria
it?
stands a chance.
I mean, your
Nigeria
economy
stands a
moved from
better
number
chance.
1 to number 4. You have nuclear power.
Well, we may not have nuclear power, but we have contributed to security, stable climate in Africa.
So is
Manpower,
that
that is.
manpower.
Yes.
But you are still going to the Western creditors to ask for loans.
But you know that no country,
1.7 billion,
no
I
country
can't
lives without
count.
loans.
1.7 billion
US also happen to have loans also on them. They borrow money too, so it's not just Nigeria thing.
Oh,
What
well,
do
let's,
they do
People
with
check
the
it
money
that
they
way.
borrow?
let's move away from that conversation. Let's move into another conversation. Fina.
All right, Ogun State Governor Jabba Abiodun stated that if President Bola Tinubu hadn't removed the fuel subsidy, it would have cost Nigeria 5.4 trillion naira by the end of 2024, nearly matching the federal government's 6.7 trillion naira budget for the year. He emphasized that paying such a vast sum would have been crippling for the nation. And Moses, I would like to ask you, is it that Dabo doesn't know about the shortfall that Nigeria
Governor Abiodun.
Yeah, Governor Abiodun actually. Is it that he doesn't know about the shortfall that Nigerian government said they are paying? They are not paying subsidy, but they are paying shortfall. And now, if we're saving 5.4 trillion naira in 2024, one want to ask again, where is this money? All this while, because this is just a paper.
That was the question I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
We gained 5.4 trillion naira.
Yeah.
Where is the money?
The
The money was shared to governors and local government areas. And the governors collected those of local government areas and still put them in their city. To me, it's like that is narrow fiddling while Rome is burning. Is this what he should be telling? He should tell the average Ogun man in Ogun State, this is what I've done in the past 16 months to make your life better.
Well,
I mean, why is he assuming the role of a spokesperson for the president or for the federal
well,
government?
this is just to dissuade Nigerians from coming out to protest come October 1, trying to let Nigerians see what the government has been doing. That's why he came
But
out.
from the
to
look
say
of
this.
things,
He
you think
should
that
tell
can
the
actually
average Ogun man what he has been
Well,
doing.
the
It is the
indigents
responsibility
of
of the Minister of Information to tell Nigerians that Nigeria gained 5.4 trillion naira for removing subsidies.
Indigenous of
The Minister of Information should also tell Nigerians that with the 5.4 trillion naira we get, inflation so hard, you are hungrier now, there is more insecurity, you can't even go to school, there's power outages and everywhere, you know, and all of this. So that is what the information minister should be telling Nigerians, that despite getting 4.5 trillion naira, this is what our lives have become, and not for that we're building. To tell Nigerians that it is not in his place.
Well, we do. these are things, conversations that Nigerians should be asking their governors. Even the president said, "Look, I've given your governors, money to take care of you. I've given them rice. I've given them bags of wheat, bags of fertilizers, and all of that. So talk to your governors." So, individuals of Ogun State, ask your Governor Dakwa Abiodun, what he has done to make your lives better. I know that sometime in the past, individuals of Ogun State were complaining because they got a quarter bag of rice for an entire estate. And, they were asking, how are we going to share this one? Is it a cup per home? And in fact, there are indications now that some of the rice that have been given out are bad in terms of quality. They are bad. You buy them, you cook them, and from the moment you're serving them, they're already tasting spoiled. And you start to wonder, this is the kind of rice that has been brought into Nigeria. Where did it come from? Chukuma, you've always asked the question, where is this rice coming from?
Yeah.
That's a question that we should be asking. We're being given rice. We're being given rice constantly. But we should be asking, where is it coming from really? Because it doesn't seem to be of good quality. Oh, well, let's get into a conversation proper for today. Before we do that, you do know that you can be part of the conversation. Join us on YouTube. Click on the subscribe button. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, Instagram, x.com, and the rest, TikTok as well. We are at VOP TV Live. Well, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll be looking at headlines that made it to the cover pages of the dailies. Come along with us.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It's still VOP this morning. Looking at the front page of the national dailies, we have the Daily Independent, the Vanguard newspaper, Daily Trust, Nigerian Tribune, the Guardian, and a whole lot. All right, I would like to start off with the Vanguard newspaper that has its banner headline this morning to be October 1, police deploy in states as organizers insist on protest. October 1, police deploy in states as organizers insist on protest. And the writers to that board headline reads, Government failed to address protesters' demands. Deji Adeyanju hopes more detained protesters will be released today. Refrain from any act of violence. That is from FG. Give FG more time to fix economy. Kogi police. Restriction on protests to two designated venues still stands. And that is according to Lagos State government. CP Lagos meets organizers, assures on security and professionalism. Jigar police deploy men today. Don't join any protest. And AUS tells varsity students. And above the nameplate, that's above the Vanguard newspaper, this morning we have the window headline said to be FG hands over 64 CNG buses to Labour Union in NAN. We will resist Unitarianism in Nigerian politics, and that is according to Afeni Ferrer. Over 40% of Nigerians now enjoy 20 hours of electricity, according to Power Minister. And we have a pictorial on that cover page of the Vanguard, where we have 64th Independence Anniversary interdenominational services. We have the likes of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and we also have the number third man in Nigeria, Govt Might Be, the president of the Senate. And right beneath that pictorial, Labour accuses IOCs, manning agents, of exploiting port workers. That story is on page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. Cement. Dangote soars mid-price high, declining purchasing power. Dangote soars a mid-price high, a declining purchasing power. The writers to that headline: key players record 76.6% rise in the revenue. Sales volume rises except to reach 32.8 MMT by year end. We effectively navigated headwinds, Dangote CEO. We will continue to grow despite low purchasing power. That is according to Lafarge CEO. Growth driven by FG capex, according to analysts. Investors swap on companies' shares. And beneath that, we have other headlines to be: Serap to INEC chair, obey judgment on electoral offences, or that's an ellipsis to that story. That's on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. Nigeria could end insecurity in 1 year if, another ellipsis, and that is from Says Ndume. And we have the last but not the least of the headlines, that's from Sport. There is Rivers United 2, Enyimba 0. And that is from NPPFL, Finidi Rivers United overpower Enyimba. And those are the headlines that made it to the cover page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, then to another daily now. Let's touch on the Guardian newspaper. The banner headline from the Guardian reads: only 7 of 20 subsidiaries viable as NNPCL battles 22 trillion naira debt. And then there's a breakdown: NNPCL's financial burden and unprofitable businesses. Key subsidiaries with major debts: Port Harcourt Refinery, 1.97 trillion; Kaduna Refinery, 1.36 trillion; NNPC Gas Infrastructure, 1.86 trillion; Warri Refinery, 1.17 trillion. And then we also have debt growth 2022 to 2023 increased from 18.4 trillion naira in 2022 to 22 trillion naira in 2023. Outstanding crude-backed loans, we have Project Gazelle, $3 billion. Project Broke, $81.7 million. $2 billion expected to be borrowed. Debt to PMS traders, $6.8 billion. 53.33 billion naira for oil exploration, Maiduguri and Nasarawa. And then decommissioning cost, 466.7 billion naira for 2,003 oil wells over the next 40 years. All right, interesting figures, I must say. Obaseki, Shaibu bicker over alleged plots to invade government house. PDP crisis deepens as North Central Caucus insists on replacing Damagom. Afenifere disapproves FG's proposed Neil Jack. FG OK's 350 billion naira to tackle flooding. 96% of SMEs struggling under inflation control policies. Economists warn. Anxiety as Tinubu's government braces for second mass protest in 2 months. Serap Action Aid demand INEC's prosecution of bribery offences against governors, deputies. All right, these are the headlines.
Up next is Daily Trust newspaper with the banner headline: Residents, Nigerian Air Force disagree as airstrike kills scores in Kaduna. I think this is one too many. As 23 worshippers are among the victims, according to the locals. We only hit terrorist base. That's what the Air Force said. And state government still silent. And the banner headlines read: local government poll, uncertainty in rivers as Fubara's allies defect to APP. Constitutional review, northern, southern senators disagree on regionality. Media Trust donates 10 million naira to Maiduguri flood victims. Experts identify causes and provide solutions. That's all from Daily Trust.
And that's
Well,
what we can take on, looking at the front face of the national dialect this morning. Yeah, but just join Chukuma and Moses, for the newspaper review or newspaper analyst proper. That's from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. All right, and that will move into the conversation proper, where we'll have to talk about how it is just barely 2 months after the hashtag End Bad Governance protest for August 1 to 10. The Nigerians are already bracing up for another protest for tomorrow, being 1st of October, as Nigerians celebrate their 64th independence. We'll be looking into this after this quick break. Stay with us.
from the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills three things that makes the society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. The red carpet, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as the day hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Catch up with the latest topics making the buzz, the stories that hit, the trend. Let's let you in on why they are trending, from politics, entertainment, business, lifestyle, and more. Analyzing the trending stories with top eyeballs.
Welcome back to VOP this morning. Barely 2 months after the hashtag EdBad governance protest from August 1 to 10, Nigerians are preparing for fresh nationwide protests set for October 1, which have already coincided with the country's 64th Independence Day. And these protests aims to reinforce demands previously ignored by the federal government, despite President Bola Tinubu's promises to engage in dialogue. A key issue is the continued detention of over 1,000 protesters, some charged with treason, while some have been granted bail. They face harsh conditions, including paying 10 million naira each. Someone who cannot afford food will afford 10 million. Especially those charged in Abuja, and the civil society organizations have expressed concerns about the government's inaction despite the president's earlier assurances. Human rights activists, including Deji Adeyanju and Imibehe Efio, criticized the government's handling of this protest, warning of potential state force against demonstrators. Adeyanju condemned the recent fuel price hike to nearly 1,000 naira after the last protest, while Efio denounced the criminalization of protests under Tinubu's administration, urging Nigerians not to be deterred. As Nigeria marks its 64th Independence Day, Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State has called for national unity and economic development, describing the anniversary as a milestone. However, with rising fuel costs and essential commodity prices, many Nigerians question the relevance of such milestone amid worsening economic conditions. Also, the governor of Ogun State, Damo Abiodun, has warned that the planned October 1 nationwide protest would achieve nothing other than looting and vandalism of public property. And we have with us in the studio this morning to help make sense of this topic. We have Mr. Akin Fatunke, a communication consultant and also a public affairs analyst. And right beside him, we have Barrister Darlington Agumo. He's here in the studio also as a political analyst. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Tina. How was the weekend?
It was splendid. Good to have you, Mr. Akin.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good morning.
Very fine. Good morning, Moses. Good morning.
All right. I'll start with you, Mr. Akin. We have another protest for the day Nigerians are celebrating our 64th independence. What does this really mean? Do you remember that this is just barely 2 months? We had the first August 1 to 10 protest. Nigerians are demanding hashtag end bad governance. And now they have another protest scheduled for the day of our independence. So what do you really make of this, Mr. Akin?
I have been protesting since the beginning of the year.
Oh.
I have been protesting for years. We have had the problem of governance in this country all over. Yes, I agree that unlike other times, things have moved from not just mild to very, very hard and severe. I am also aware that the protest is a legitimate right of people who choose to protest, and they should be given free will to do. Plus, the security forces should, as much as possible, protect those who legitimately apply for permission to protest. I'm finally aware that protest in Nigeria has been a jambalaya of good, bad, and ugly. It comes in fits, it comes in starts. Either government is sponsoring allegedly, or bad people who are very angry and who are as angry as myself, who have been protesting for ages, will definitely take a decision to take advantage. I am aware the last one that you mentioned, to look at what happened in Kano, was that protesters went to people they should not be protesting against, and went to which it doesn't look to me like protest. So it's the reason why I call it a good, the bad, and the ugly. But all put together, I had your intro that talked about the fact that protesters the last time, some are in detention and they were given bail condition that I think is also punitive. I think the government needs to be much more careful with some of these things. Criminal justice system should be accelerated. People are guilty and you have evidence against them. Please take them to court and let that be done. It doesn't speak well for the image of government and the image of Nigeria.
Okay.
All right.
For it to remain in detention all this while. Thank
All right.
you.
All right, Barrister Darlington, let me come to you now. Still talking about the protest. Just before the August 1st protest, the 10-day hashtag end bad governance protest that Nigerians had backed upon, even though some would say it wasn't exactly 10 days, as the first few days were effective. The days after, things dovetailed into a different thing entirely. But let's look at what government is doing. So far, the activities of government. On July 29th, the president signed the minimum wage bill into law. Some said it was to douse, tension, prevent people from coming to the streets. Do you think that played any impact? Because we saw how the protest went, especially in Lagos, where it wasn't effective. Now, the president has started paying the minimum wage that was signed into law. Civil servants started receiving payments. Some civil servants will confirm that they started receiving from the 28th of August. I beg your pardon, September. 28th of September. Is this going to cushion the impact of hunger? Is this going to douse tension? And will Nigerians say, okay, maybe this government is doing something, and decide not to come out to protest? As some of the organizers, Deji Adeyanju, fears that the protest might not have that much bite because Nigerians may not come out.
Yeah, thank you, Moses. In the first place, it is unfortunate that the government that came in on the platform of change and then hope, good governance, hope, and all that have suffered two protests in 2 months: August, September, and now October. It doesn't say good of that government at all. It doesn't, no matter how you look at it. All these things you read that are just tokenism. And it's deceitful because you are doing it not because you want to do it. You are doing it to placate some people. What are the number of civil servants that are receiving minimum wage? What's their number? Remember, you are talking of 200 and something million people here. And your civil servants, they are not up to 2 million. Max 3. Yeah? So, you want to placate 3 million against over 200 million. You are not making any effort now. You are not making any effort. In fact, you are not even leading. You are just there to mark time. Because if you are a leader, if you are a government, if you are a party that meant well for Nigeria, we will not be talking about this by now. There was something on ground before you came into government. Why are you not looking back and say, where did we meet these people? And why did things go wrong under our watch? That is what a forward-looking government should be doing by now. Not only tokenism every time. You give 20 bags of rice to some people. You bring 20 trucks. Meanwhile, none of them can be verified. Moses, I've been asking you here. Why are they selling the 40,000 naira bag of rice in Lagos?
In Lagos,
Nobody. That's Lagos, so the commercial sector of Nigeria. Nobody have shown. This is why they are selling this rice. So go there and buy your own. Nobody.
No, very
So
stop.
all these things will tell you that the government is deceiving the people. There is no sincerity in this government. It's all about deceit and then double standard. You say something, you do another thing. What makes you that there will be no more protests? Even after tomorrow, I am telling you there will be more protests.
All right, now, Barrister, now the question I want to ask again is, you say that the government is deceiving the people. We saw how the August 1 to 10 protest worked, and after that protest, there was the purchase of an escalade, and so many other, expensive, expensive goods for the government. Talking about the escalade, talk about the presidential jet also, and at least Nigerians are crying and their request. Now, do you think that with the way the government moved swiftly to arrest these protesters who are protesting as a right bad governance, some of them are being charged with treasonable offense, and some of them are still there in police custody. Do you think Nigerians are in any way? Do you think the protests of tomorrow will hold waters, or is it that Nigerians are being calculated at this case?
No, they will come out, but the number is what I'm not too sure of. There will be protests tomorrow because things are not looking good. What will happen is that the government have already divided the people along political and ethnic lines. That is just the problem. But I'm telling you, it will not be for too long. It will not be because people are not that stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, they are not that stupid.
Barrister.
It will not be for too long. A day will come when they will even tell the people, like they normally do, go and do counter protest. They say, no, we are not going.
Okay, Barrister, talking about.
Thank you, my brother. In fact, the moment you do that, you are committing false imprisonment. When you restrict a man in a confinement without giving him an option of where to escape another, you are just committing a false imprisonment. And that is not what the law says. It is not. Section 36, 37, 38. If you go there, you will see all the rights you're supposed to have, especially that of 36. Freedom of movement and association is enshrined. So why would you as a police officer, because you are the commissioner of police, you don't want to turn our laws upside down? When government is dealing with the people, did they restrict it to one particular person or one particular group?
But looking at the reason that they gave, Barrister, saying that they don't want destruction of properties as of what happened during the hashtag #EndSARS protest in Lagos, that was the reason for this restriction. Don't you really think it is in line?
No. When there was protest the last time, it was very peaceful. Everybody saw it. We monitored it from this platform. It was the government that brought in counter-protesters who were carrying machete in the presence of police officers.
Okay.
And they were never arrested.
Okay, Barrister.
The peaceful protesters, please, was any of them carrying a stick?
Okay, now this is an allegation that this is the thought of a lot of Nigerians, especially when government says don't protest, it will be hijacked. We see hijackers come out. Now, Nigerians have come to believe that government has a hand in this. Now, let me come to you now, Mr. Fatunke. With this belief, now we have a governor, Ogun State Governor, Mr. Dakwa Abiodun, has also come out and said, look, the only thing that will come out of this is looting of properties. What should the police do to prevent that? Should Nigerians be worried that there will be an interference again, that the protest will be hijacked by elements that from the government side that would want to, start looting so that, the idea of giving a dog a bad name to hang it will come to play? Should Nigerians be concerned about this? Seeing that a lot of Nigerians have lost faith in the goodwill of this administration and the governors under it.
Thank you very much, Moses. I'm hearing that freedom is absolute. Cannot be. Where your freedom starts, where mine, if it's not in alignment with yours, stops. And that is the essence of an arbitrary, or what you call government. And no responsible, I dare say, I hope I'm clear, no responsible government will see what happened during the EndSARS. You made an allusion to it, and will fold its arms now.
So are you saying government is intentionally preventing the people from airing their views to avert a reoccurrence of what happened during the EndSARS?
I don't think so. If that is so, the NLC was on strike. What happened in Lagos, I believe also what happened in Lagos was friendly. They applied and they went on their protest, and it was peaceful. Part of the things that happened during that strike was the fact that I did not see, unlike what we had during the EndSARS and the one that came after, that you were coming to your studio this morning and somebody was going to ask you to go back or was burning tires, or people will go into some other institutions and say, look, if I don't want to be a part of the strike, it's also my right.
Sir, Mr. You said that freedom should be. Freedom is not absolute. No, you said something. I want to. You said something. You said that freedom is not absolute.
Jump into my thought.
Sorry for cutting you short.
Okay, so if you are sorry,
please hold on to your thoughts. Hold on to your thoughts.
No.
You said that freedom
I am going to beg
is not
you.
absolute.
I'm
the one begging you.
I'm going to
You said
beg
that
you
freedom is not absolute. Should the powers of government be absolute in relation to how it applies to citizens?
Since you didn't listen to me, please let me finish, and I come back to your question.
The point of it, you made a statement in the course of answering.
Allow me to
you have already put out like 2 or 3 lines from the question you asked, and that question is almost answered completely.
Don't you allow
now I
me
want
to
you to
answer.
extrapolate it from there.
Okay, go ahead.
You said freedom shouldn't be absolute. Should the powers of government be absolute in its application to the rights of citizens?
Vis-a-vis the provision of the
Constitution. Yes. Please, Barrister Adeyanju, should powers of government be absolute?
It shouldn't. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And I ask the question also, should hardship and hunger be absolute?
Exactly.
Considering what is going on in the country.
Are you okay? I
go ahead.
I mean, So what's
No,
the point?
Mr. Akin,
What's
I asked you a question.
This thing, you can't look. This is not a mob. This is analysis.
This is analysis.
So
You
if somebody asks me
said something that is instructive.
We are just guiding you. We are guiding
no,
you.
you can't. I don't need your guide. I don't need your guide.
Because some people are listening to you.
Listen. No. Don't help me to guide. A question has been asked of me.
I'm helping you.
I'm
helping you.
No, Barrister, let's get his own thoughts.
No, I mean, I don't feel comfortable.
Go ahead, Mr. Akin.
I don't feel comfortable.
Go ahead, Mr. Akin.
Somebody is asking a question. I was answering the question. You jumped in, and I said, please allow me to land on my talk. You just jumped in, and then the other.
Because you said something in the process.
You are telling the public that the power is absolute.
Barrister will get
This was what happened the last time. Please, you are a barrister and you are learned. Please, I don't have to see things eye to eye with you. Please allow me to talk. You spoke. Questions were asked of you. You went on for about 20 minutes. I didn't interject. Why are you interjecting during mine?
My concern is that you are.
And then you also have somebody who is supposed to be a journalist. And I'm saying,
can we get your answer?
Can you answer the question?
Can we get your answer now?
Let's have your thoughts. Let's have your thoughts. You said something, and so I did ask a follow-up question, and there is nothing wrong in that.
now
The power of
the
government.
mere fact that you are jumping in, if you know me,
At what point should I have asked you the question?
I am not. Well, somebody asked a question. Your
And you
colleague
had already answered and said something in the process. Please, let this show continue, please. Just go ahead.
I don't understand.
Go ahead.
I mean, this is a very rude way of asking questions.
Mr. Akin, I will expect you to moderate yourself on this show. It is not rude. I simply asked you a question.
No. Look, this is not how journalism is.
Yeah.
If you
Mr. Akin, I know you are not a journalist, so you don't teach me journalism.
No.
You asked a question, and I had the right to ask a follow-up question.
All I'm saying is, somebody asked a question, I was answering the question, and then the next then you are begging me. I said, no, don't beg me. Allow me to bury my thoughts. You are not allowed me to bury my thoughts.
Continue with your thoughts.
I said freedom is not absolute. I'll go back to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Where your freedom starts and stops will be where mine to start if it is contrary. And I made the logic to tell you that if you believe you should be wearing blue, and I believe I should be wearing white, you cannot say mine is wrong, yours is not wrong. And I'm making the point that during the answers, no responsible government will see what happened thereon and has done their what you call SWOT, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and strengths, and will open their eyes and allow things to just go off board. Allegedly, you said government was the one that got into it. Allegedly, it's also government that asked people to go and loot, innocent people. No, we have not matured to that level. You are asking me that is government right? Absolute. How can government rights be absolute? Government rights cannot be absolute, and that's why we have checks and balances. You know that. So all I am saying, there is a right to protest. It has to go through a process. That process should be such that the authorities should guard. The authorities should look out for miscreants. We have miscreants. Barrister, Darlington was also now then talking about government has divided us through tribes and stuff. It's not the first time. You remember during the NLC strike, the Bafiawu strike, the June 12th. The June 12th was going on a particular straight directly before Bafiawu said the North was not going to be part of it. We are beginning to see snippets of that coming in now. Does hunger have rights or responsibilities? I told you from the onset that I have also been protesting from the onset. I've been protesting. I'm not waiting for October 1.
Some Nigerians are of the opinion that this administration is employing a divide and rule tactics. We know that this administration. Let me come to the essence of it. We know that this administration in Lagos it has its roots has its roots in a lot of areas, especially with the Union of Road Transport Workers in Lagos. This
Correct.
administration has a strong grip on that association. And we also do know that antecedent shows that if a protest is taking place, if it's not effective in Lagos, it's hardly going to be effective around the nation. That's on one side. If transport workers are not part of it, then it's there's nothing to hold on to. If vehicles are on the road and people can still move around, then there is no essence to stay back and So, but we've seen that in times past, NURTW has constantly, maybe because of its affiliation to this administration, has decided that, look, it will not be part of protest. And some have said that is why protests have been ineffective, especially in Lagos. Is that not a divide and rule sort of
Thank
tactics?
you very much. Please, let me get a clarity. The protest we are talking about is about Lagos, not about Nigeria.
It's about Nigeria, but we know that if protest is not effective in Lagos, it's rarely effective around
So
the
the target, from your logic, target must be Lagos, and if Lagos can be brought down, can be complied, all others will comply. I will not tell you that I doubt the fact that Lagos is a strong commercial capital city, and from historical times, it's been Lagos, it's been Port Harcourt, and lately been Abuja. I also know, and I'm sure you know, in alignment with my prescription, when the NSAS thing came,
Lagos was hard hit.
And so Lagos to now keep mum and say, well, because if everything goes on fine in
But
Lagos,
does protest
all I'm saying is that there's a process for protest. We've had protests over time. Only, in my view, somebody who has no sense of history, that will not want to look at what happened yesterday and just wants to go and continue. It has to be a continuous improvement.
Right? Now, talking about what happened yesterday, Mr. Akin, during the hashtag #EndSARS protest, we saw branded vehicles. Remember that this time around, now we're talking about modern era. During the EndSARS protest, we saw government branded vehicles letting people come out. We saw SUVs letting people come to disturb the people that are protesting. Remember that this protest started on a particular date until the 20th, when there was shooting at Lekki, which government said there was no shooting, but we also saw in Lagos State where there was a memo that was given out for the people that were killed during that period to be buried also, Mr. Akin. So are we now still saying, because you talked about the process we need to follow, protesters have written to the security operatives we have in Nigeria, the police to be precise, to say, we are going to protest. We need you people to help us protect those that are coming out to protest. Remember, the protest is part of our right, so that infiltrators or elements will not take over the protest or hijack it as usual. But this hashtag End Bad Governance protest of 1st August to 10th of August, we still saw, elements hijacking the protest and things going a different way. So are you saying that protesters are not following the process, or is it that the government are not doing what is expected of them?
And feel free to be biased. It's your thoughts that matter here.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
I will not exactly call it bias. I will call it common sense. Tina just made a statement now that during NSAS protest, I was just trying to understand what was talked about the NSAS protest of the August, and then that vehicles were brought out and people were brought in and all that. Again, best that I know that happened in the NSAS protest, that we had skirmishes of protest, especially in Lagos, Moses, like you said, and everybody went to the toll gate. And then, of course, we all knew what happened, and we all knew how Jabba left, amongst others. For people who may not understand what Jabba left means, that is the sanatorium. Jabba was turned upside down and all that, and so many other things.
But that was when things went out of hand. It wasn't about the first few days of the protest.
Yeah.
So why, in your view, That didn't happen in August because it went on, and then infiltrators came in. I am not saying infiltrators did not come in. Allegedly, we have to be very careful. Allegedly, we say by government. Of course, it's also by. I shot a video, personal video that I sent around during this August protest, where army of youth, unemployed youth, were making a lot of noise that look like the day come, we are going to go out against the rich and all that. Atoniru there, please, please. So all I am saying is that are we matured enough for it? Am I therefore saying that is it because that we are not matured enough for it, we should not go and protest? But you got my opener. It is the right and responsibility of any people who wants to protest. However, there's a caveat, and that is where I mentioned the fact that it's not absolute. If some people do not want to protest,
All right.
it should not be by coercion and say they should not go out, or you go to the general hospital and then start to sack people and all that.
All right.
That should not be it.
All right, Mr. Aki.
Yeah.
Talking about vandalism, talking about looting, and talking about infiltration.
Yeah.
In the days leading up to the End Bad Governance protest, we
Yeah.
saw a group of people, that's the August one, the
yes.
most recent.
Okay.
We saw a group of people, supposedly, sponsored by government, to protest against the protest. And within that period, we didn't hear the government cry out that there was going to be looting, that there was going to be arson, or that there was going to be vandalism. So doesn't it also tell us that whenever there is a protest, peaceful protest, and it goes all right, that the hand of government is involved in it?
Now, my dear friend, we always continue to be friends. Now you are getting it logically up there. First of all, you said alleged. Whether alleged or not alleged, I was in this studio when my dear barrister Darlington was saying that they wanted to go and protest at Freedom Park and all that, that they went out and the police were just gazing at the sky when.
No,
So,
Mr. Aki, my
wait,
point
wait,
is,
wait.
Mr. Aki, my point is this. We
I
had a
am not-
protest
first-
against the protest.
First of all,
And at that point, the government did
First
not
of all-
restrict them to a particular place.
you brought me here. I am not a government spokesperson. Please don't
No,
forget.
it's your views that we want to hear. We want to know your
So
views.
if you want to
I'm
know-
asking,
so if you want
before
to
the end,
so
before the end bad
So
governance protest,
if you want to know
there
my
was
views,
a protest
if you want to know
ahead
my
of the
views,
protest
then if you want to hear my views,
saying people should not protest.
If
And
you-
this particular
if
protest
you want to
were
hear,
not restricted
if
to
you
a
want to
particular
hear my
place.
view, if you want to hear my view,
Is that what
even-
government should be doing?
even if it's alleged in your mind that it is biased, which movies have currently said that we have a right. I have common sense, my dear brother.
Everybody has. Everyone has common sense,
I'm
depending
not-
on what you mean by common sense.
I am not sure the people that you are saying are going against whatever they have common sense.
No, we mean
I am
people that are protesting for the government don't have common sense. Is that what you mean?
I'm not sure people that you see that are stealing you blind have common sense. They don't have emotional intelligence.
It
So I know
depends
what
on your
I'm saying.
interpretation of common sense. Mr. Aki, leave common sense, please. In the days leading up to the protest, people protested against the protest, and government did not restrict them to a particular spot. Is that what government should be doing?
According to you,
Were they restricted?
are you who was
People that protested ahead of the protest,
uh-huh.
did the government say, no, this protest that is against the protest, you people must restrict yourself to Ojota and Ketu? Did government do that?
The last I heard, I'm not sure government was.
Gentlemen, there was a protest before the
Wait now. I'm not sure that I follow you and I follow your trajectory. Government made a conventional statement and said, look, please, if you have to go and protest, it's all right. But please be restricted. I'm not aware.
It was not conventional. It's a law that the Lagos State government
I
put
am
out.
not. Wait,
It's
now.
not convention.
No, it was a statement. And I am not aware the government now made another statement, or we are expecting that the government should now go and look for people who are going to infiltrate. You see, the problem I think we have in Nigeria is a situation where we have a very bad thing, a very bad product, but we are not looking at a logical way of looking at it. said it clear, and I'm going to be very, very vehement. There's hunger in the land. There is anger in the land. There is bad examples that we see at all levels of government. I vehemently, I live in Lagos, disagree that it must be concentrated, in Lagos, and that if Lagos is brought down, then, if Lagos is put at a standstill, others will now follow. I think it should be even part of the things that is causing a lot of protest and anger. It's not so much the federal government that we are all looking at. It's also at the state levels. As I speak, as I analyze, about 17 state governors are now saying, let's put up a committee to help us look at the minimum wage. When some of them have not even paid 35. And I'm not seeing the kind of cohesive protest that goes out there to say, look, Mr. Governor, you can't continue to live life the way you are living life. It should just not be. And at the end of the day, and I'm sure this question is going to come. Barrister was going in that direction. He doesn't think that so many people are going to come out. I don't think it's going to be so many people that are going to come out. I think we can't continue to do the same thing and expecting different results.
All right.
I think we need much more concise engagement at all levels. National Union of Road Transport Workers, Moses, that you mentioned in Lagos, we have it in Oyo State. We have the version in Oyo State. We have the version in Edo. We also have the version in Abuja. We have it all over. So this over-concentration in Lagos, I dare say, and I'm going to smuggle this in because I live in Lagos. I must commend the governor of Lagos. I must reinforce the fact that he's been proactive. He has been engaging. He's been pleading.
All right.
Please, certain things should not happen. And please, for now, let's restrict ourselves so that we can get you protected as much as we can.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Barrister, now you have the floor. I see that you've been shaking your head in disagreement. So feel free to express yourself now. But as you express yourself, we know that during the last protest, the August protest, some people were arrested. Now, some will say that these were not the people that flew the Russian flag. That's what some people on social media and on the streets are saying, that the people being arrested and paraded were not those that flew the Russian flag. So protest has been tagged treason.
How did you know that?
Well, that's what people are saying.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what the social media is saying.
What people are
all
saying.
right. Okay, now I get you. Go ahead.
That's also what some of the lawyers representing them are also saying. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
So now there are fears that Nigerians may not come out. Now, also remember, leading to the August protest, Freedom Nigeria, one of those who is in incarceration right now, released a wire between the police that talked about clamping down on protesters. And he's been accused of espionage. Now, with Freedom, I've forgotten his real name, Tamina Biafire, in detention now, and some of the protesters also in detention. Do you think this would dissuade people from coming out to protest, which of course is their right to do? Do you think there will be fears that they might be arrested?
That is the mistake dictatorial government makes. They think that when they count the people, they will now go and recline under their bed. It's not possible. The moment you go through this route, you are even aggravating the anger. Because the problem that is confronting the people have not been solved. And you cannot solve it by clamping down on them. It's not possible. It has never happened it has never worked anywhere in the world. Go and check from history. When they protested in 2012, I'm sure Aki was in Lagos here. Please, was anybody arrested? Was anybody go on a counter protest? Answer me.
Okay.
A government was in power then.
Is that a question for me?
Wait, hold on, now answer yes. Yeah, you answer many questions. Because one of the reasons why we have not moved forward is because of sentimental attachment to issues.
Okay.
When it concerns your people or your tribe or your religion or the government you support, you tend to pretend, you start pulling punches. But when it happens somewhere, you play up. It has not helped us. Why can't you call a spade a spade? We had a government before APC came into office. We are there like this. Mention one person that Jonathan put into detention for even protesting or for criticizing him. Mention one person or any media house. You mean that man didn't know what it is? That is when democracy thrived. But under a man who deceived the whole world that he was fighting for the human rights. Look at what is going on. And I expected you to say, no, Tinubu, this is not what you promised us. This was not what you said you told us you were fighting for. I expected you to say that. That's the only way we can move forward. But pretending and trying to, be speaking from one side of your mouth to the other, it will never help us. Quote me, it will never help us. Who brought Agbo into this Lagos? All the people that are doing counter protests in Lagos, who are they? Who are they? Tell me.
Okay.
Were they not here when they went to Ojota under Jonathan? Why didn't Jonathan mobilize them to go and do counter protest? I am coming. Hold on. Why didn't Jonathan?
There are about 3 questions. Is this?
Hold on. I'm not finished. Hold on. I allow you. I want to tell you why we are not moving forward. It's because of people like you who don't want to call a spade a spade.
Okay.
Seriously, you are telling me that Sowolu is doing very well.
Okay.
But look at what he has been doing. Selective persecution. A man who just spoke a word in Adoyo said here, he's still in detention. But somebody threatened the Igbos that they should not come and vote. If you come and they will kill you. And they carried it out and Sowolu kept quiet. Mr. Aki, are you not aware of such a thing? Tell me.
How many questions, sir?
Are you not aware? Is he not supposed to act the same way he acted on other issues?
Okay.
These Agbo that are disturbing them of
these
today.
are rhetoric.
All right, now.
These
These
are
Agbo that are disturbing them of today. On whose side are they working?
Barrister Darlington.
Wait.
Why should the government allow non-state actors to be taking
Barrister Darlington.
extorting money from negotiators? And the government kept quiet.
It is either.
Can you calm down?
Why would they be allowing such a thing to be going on in a smart city like Lagos? You said in the center of Barrister
Darlington,
It is either you are melodious.
Barrister Darlington, we need you to calm down. Barrister Darlington, we need you to calm down. We need you to calm down.
What would have happened? Now you're telling me now that it was this and that and that.
Barrister Darlington,
don't you see them?
Barrister Darlington,
Were they arrested?
all right,
Guys.
Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Or start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. Showing from 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. Contests, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming
It's
unprepared.
not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills three things and makes the society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. Catch up with the latest topics making the buzz, the stories that stick, the trends. Let's let you in on why they are trending, from politics, entertainment, business, lifestyle, and more. Analyzing the trending stories with top eyeballs. Hashtag on Voice of the People Television.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It's still VOP this morning. Quite interesting. The conversation even, lingers on even outside or behind the camera. But I would like to get your concluding thought, but that'll be, after the second topic, Barrister Darlington Agamo and Mr. Akin Fatake. So you have to stay with us. So I'll move over to the second conversation today. Mr. Chukuma.
All right. Serap to INEC. Obey court orders or face contempt charge. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu to enforce a court ruling on electoral offences during the 2023 general elections. Justice Obiora Egwuatu of the Federal High Court, Abuja, had on July 18th ordered INEC to investigate bribery allegations involving state governors and their deputies. In a statement by SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, the group warned that INEC's failure to act undermines the justice system and democracy. Citing fresh allegations from the Edo State elections, SERAP threatens contempt proceedings if the court order is not followed within 7 days. Oluwadare stressed that obeying the ruling is critical to restoring credibility to Nigeria's electoral process, which has been marred by recurring bribery and violence. We still have in the studio with us Mr. Akin Fatike, a communications consultant, and Barrister Darlington Agamo, a lawyer and political analyst. Gentlemen, thanks for staying with us.
Thank you,
Mr. Fatike, let me come to you.
Yes.
SERAP has called on INEC chairman, to obey court ruling, which says investigate electoral offences committed by governors and their deputies. And my question would be, of what use is investigating governors and their deputies for electoral offences when you cannot prosecute them because they have immunity?
Yeah, good question. Again, I come to process and I come to procedure. SERAP has a right to allege certain things have been done and they should be investigated. I also have, down that process, will be SERAP to come with concrete evidence and facts that can be taken to a court of law, and then they proceed. Again, like I said at the last segment, I am not a spokesman for government, I am a spokesman for INEC. I will be hard put and surprised. Learn that certain things have come out, including the Edo that you mentioned, including the others that you mentioned, that have not been undergoing processing and prosecution. And you know how our criminal justice system ends up in the courts. At the end of the day, how it crawls. I think the diligent investigation and prosecution is key. How will not be one that will encourage INEC on whimsical, or like Moses said, okay, some lawyers of the opposition or lawyers out there or some social media influencers are talking about, or even my dear friend, Barrister Darlington here, what he feels. It has to go through all those normal process, adequately prosecute them. The last time I also checked, there are quite a number of cases that I know INEC has taken to the court and they were thrown out for lack of diligent prosecution. One has to be very, very careful here. The hand of justice grinds slowly. The mill of justice grinds slowly, but they grind exceedingly well. One way or the other, these are going to be
Sorry, Mr. Akib. My question is this. SERAP has been doing a very good job as an active civil society organization. Nobody can take that away from them.
Yes.
But they are very emphatic in this particular issue that governors and their deputies. Why? Because most times people hide under the cloak of the governor because they have immunity. You cannot prosecute them while they are in office.
All right.
Now the question is this. Is it some kind of merry-go-round when you ask INEC chairman to investigate governors without having the powers to prosecute them? Is it something that should be done, or is it you get the investigation, put it together, and wait for them until they exit from office?
That's not my understanding. Yeah, INEC.
No, he said investigate governors and their deputies.
INEC has to. INEC has to, in the conduct of elections. In the conduct of elections, has to look at governors. One would be Obaseki as an example, and what he did and the dance round that he did. Look into that carefully, amass evidence, and if they have done wrong, they will say, look at what Fintiri did. If they have done something wrong, they have to go and prosecute them.
No,
now, you are now
the sitting governor.
No, wait.
That's my point.
No, wait. The governor will not always be governor for life. The governor will be governor for 4 years, maybe maximum 8 years. He will drop the immunity, to that, and he will still be prosecuted. SERAP is there for a long time to help deepen our democratic processes.
Okay.
And you made a statement now, and I just want to be very sure that we are on the same page. Yes, SERAP can call on INEC, calling on INEC on conduct of elections. If they are found guilty, of course, now go on to the police, go to the EFC, ICPC, depending on the kind of money that changes hands, and depending on how well all that is processed. SERAP, Oluwadari will tell you, so many times they have done investigations, and then the thing just falls flat in the altar of prosecution. No doubt about that. That will not be the fault of INEC, but INEC has to do the very first thing.
All right, now Barrister Darlington, in the words of Oluwadare, on the July 18th, Justice Obiora Egwatu had a ruling by telling INEC to do what the 18 mandamus now of the SERAP demanded, order of mandamus the SERAP demanded now. Now, Barrister, what do you think is still keeping INEC from doing that, which the court have actually said it should do?
That is it. Disobedience of court order. That has been the hallmark of this administration, from Buhari to Tinubu. Disobedience of court order. That is why I sympathize with SERAP. All the effort they are making, this government tend not to even listen. They are not interested.
Really?
They are violating our constitutions, our democratic tenets, right, left, and center, as if it does not matter.
From Buhari to
Tinubu, yes, it is worse under their watch.
We had
I said it was worse under their watch, but they said they will bring change.
So it's not
They
that
said they will bring change.
it's not that we didn't have it.
I said they said they will bring change from what was going on in the past. I'm holding on to their word. Where is the change?
I see.
It got worse under their word. That's what I'm saying. It got worse under their word.
Jonathan did not promise
Oh my God. I said it got worse under their word. You are not listening to me. After that, you say we are arguing. Why can't they do things differently now? Why can't they do this different? That's what I'm saying. Yes.
You see, you are
Let's not start from there.
We are looking at INEC.
All right, Barrister.
So what I'm not saying is what I'm not saying that INEC got worse under this administration because one, look at the election that happened last year.
Mr. King, you had your turn. Please.
Good.
Allow him.
Look at the election that happened last year. The opposition who were in court with Tinubu and APC, They demanded some documents from INEC, which they refused to bring out. The opposition complained to the tribunal presiding over that case. They said nothing. Those documents was vital to the prosecution of that case, but INEC refused to oblige them. Please, is that not an offense? Obstructing the will of justice. That was why James Ibori's lawyer went to jail in the UK, when he was being prosecuted. The lawyer wanted to compromise the UK justice. They threw him inside jail. But here, somebody got away with it. 2, what happened at Owerri? The opposition, the man who actually wanted it, was telling INEC, give me this document. I need it to go to court. They did not bring it until the matter was good. What does that tell you? Please, who was giving INEC the impetus? Please, let us listen here.
First,
Hold on, please, let us listen here. Okay. When, under Obasanjo, the court ruled that Andrew back to leave that place, that government house at Oka. Obasanjo insisted that the guy should remain there. Immediately, Obasanjo handed over to Yaradua. The first thing Yaradua did, he told Andruba, get out of that place within 24 hours. In fact, in 6 hours, he withdrew all the security details from Andruba. In fact, Andruba was in a hurry to leave government house that he not collect all his belongings. As Peter was going in, Andruba was driving out.
According to you.
Please, I'm in the country. You can't tell me anything about this. I know it very well.
Oh,
I know.
I'm not.
You are not. If you know, you won't be arguing like this.
Okay.
Now, this is a man who wants things to be done right. It was the same Yaradua who started the electoral reforms. Please, can't APC deepen it? I mean, let us say, yeah, this is what APC have done for us. I'm just giving you examples of men who want to lead. Men who mean well. So why are you not telling us process, procedure? This, if you don't want to do anything, that's what you normally do. A government that don't want to do anything.
So there is the Freedom of Information. There's the Freedom of Information Act. It's under that Sarah makes requests for information.
Yes.
Now, when requests are made and agencies of government or government itself fails to comply, should we go back to the court? Or what should Nigerians do in that regard?
We have bombarded the court with our problem. The ruling is already there. The constitution is there. The law is there. Why not obey it? For example, in Lagos State here, if you go there now to go and search for the same thing under the Freedom of Information Act, they will tell you it's a federal government law, not their own. They will not give you what you want. In Lagos, the city of excellence, they will never tell you that, okay, yeah, they will never. They will give you excuses. So what I'm saying in essence is that let us not continue to cut this flag for government.
So now, Barrister, what do you think will happen with the 7 days ultimatum that Serap has given, saying that if this is not being done, that they will pursue contact?
There is nothing that will happen. Fina. Right. This INEC have done worse things in the past. Nothing happened. Right. So this one will not be different.
All right, Mr. King.
I am only afraid that the leader, the president who is in charge, should have done something. I just told you what Yaradua did.
All right, Barrister.
I just gave you an example of what Yaradua did.
Thank you so much, Barrister. Mr. King, like you have a different opinion.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Let's come back. Autocracy and autocracy and will not solve the problem. Despite it all, we still have semblance of rule of law. And rule of law talks about procedure. Take 7 days. Is 7 days yet? Number one. Number two, why have we rushed judgment that INEC is either not doing two things? One, making sure they put their papers together to look at these concrete items with the view to prosecuting. Why are we rushing to that extent? Secondly, why do we really feel that without procedure and process, we'll be able to get there? My dear friend has gone back to Yaradua's time and Jonathan's time. See, this issue of cherry picking. Yeah, this issue of cherry picking.
gave you examples.
Wait now.
I gave you
Mr.
examples.
Darlington,
Let me
please
finish.
hold
I
on.
gave you examples.
You can give.
Is that not okay?
I
for
can
you?
give you 1,001
Hey,
examples.
give your own, and I give your own. It's as simple as that. Give your own
No,
example.
you are not the one asking me questions.
You called my name. You mentioned my
You are
name.
interjecting. Yes.
Give us example
I
that will
said
move us forward. I
give
just
you-
told you what a man
I
is
can
to
give
move us
you-
forward.
Mr. Darlington, we
Give
need
your
you to
own.
please hold your thoughts.
I
We'll
can
get back
give
to
you
you when it's time.
1,001 things that happened during Obasanjo's time, and I can give you 1,001 things that also happened during Jonathan and then Yaradua.
And you are telling me that those governments are
My
worse than this one, Abi?
No,
They are worse than this
We are
one.
not comparing. That's not.
There is comparison now. We should compare it. After all, we are Nigeria. We should compare it now. We saw what we enjoyed under PDP. Why are we not enjoying it under APC?
I'm prepared to engage you. Wait, excuse me. I'm prepared to engage you on a cross talk.
Well, anywhere.
No, wait.
Anywhere.
This is not a cross talk. You can fire questions at me and I can. But let's respect the rule of engagement here.
What have I done?
The mere fact that what I'm saying does not agree with you, it's not making sense
I
to
gave
you.
examples. Give me your own example.
No,
It's as simple as that.
Mr. Darlington, please, I would like you to hold on to your thoughts. We'll ask you your own question when it's the right time.
We are on a cross talk. This television station can do that.
Mr. Akin, go on with
All
your
I
thoughts.
am saying is, why don't we want to wait for that process? Now, if after 7 days, then you ask the question, and I know governments at all levels, irrespective of political parties, have been known to flout rules, which put and derails our process of democracy. I wouldn't using, a rule of law. I thought we should look at it holistically. When you ask that question, we should look at those institutions. If those institutions are not complying, of course, there's a recourse to going back to the court to compare them, and it has happened so many times. It is not by Tinubu is not doing something. Jonathan did it better, and all that. We are doing something. We are not looking at the real issues of Nigeria. I say the issue of Nigeria goes beyond Tinubu, goes beyond Peter Obi, if you were to be on seat or Atiku Abubakar. The issue of Nigeria is so deep-seated, deep-rooted, so terribly destroyed. Maybe what perhaps you want me to say, and I've said it. How else do you expect me to say that I'm not seeing the kind of character, the competence, and the kind of uniqueness, vision in this present government? I didn't say it in the others too. It tells you, therefore, that this vehicle that we are in, that we are all cruising in, is not going to take us to a destination. I will continue to just begin to argue and argue and argue. Bring in your man. Go and vote and bring in your man. If he's still going to work within this kind of template, he will not move forward because people will not allow. You see, we are so different, and we must find a way. My analysis tells you that we are going to be where we are at today. One, take use of subsidy. We were eating our cake and having it, and we are all smiling. That is not reality. So many things surrounded it, and so many corruption went around it. Take it or leave it. Now, you said, how much is the inflation rate? And all that. And I corrected you at that time.
No, you said something. You didn't correct.
At that time?
Yeah, you said something. It was not correct.
Let him tell us.
Okay.
Tell us
In other words, you didn't take it as a correction. What I'm saying is that how much was crude selling at that point in time? How much is it selling now? What is the level of our production at that point in time? What is the level of production now? Now you say it's not correction. I mean, you are freely entitled not to want to take it. And like I always say, no two sides wins an argument. I state my fact, my fact and my process. I have said to you that in the last 30 years, where I used to work for, called ExxonMobil, we presented a paper and we showed the roadmap that the way Nigeria was going, the way we are going to crash land. How many people are going to listen to us? We are now here now, and I'm also still telling you that we've crash landed like Humpty Dumpty. who sat on the wall, having a big war, we can still find a way to revamp and bring them. Not this Tinubu, Jonathan. Whether it's Tinubu, Jonathan, Yaradua, we've had it wrong constitutionally. And with the kind of attitude, so many things have happened. I will not go back to January, the January 16th coup, which was the mother of some of the problems we have in here. I won't go to that direction. We've not been able to cure that. Went to the Civil War, went to the Biafran War, and today nationalities are calling for, look, we want to go our separate ways. And why not? Go, like I said, through the normal process. But all this, you said people will disagree with me. Of course, people can disagree. Let the whole world disagree with me. I will stand by my truth. And like I said, 15, 20 years ago, we said it. I will ask you to go into Nigerian Stock Exchange on set, go and read the the annual report and account that was done by Mobile.
All right, we're running out of time.
We were talking about what we are. So my concluding thought is Nigeria is not
Both
working.
topics, okay?
Yes, Nigeria is not working. Serap has a right, and to do what they are doing, we should support them. If government or any other person goes against the rule of law and the tenets of the rule of law, I always appeal that.
Right.
That is the way I know, sane societies work. And that is the only way we should work. And finally, let's get back the patriots. They are not saying it for the very first time, that Nigeria is not working. Our election, we cannot all together bring 2027 election, bring it tomorrow. I know who is going to win. We all know who is going to win. But we are all just, because the opposition is not united. And that is the truth. All right. A basic bitter that people are not prepared to swallow. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, Barrister Darlington Agumon, let's get your concluding thoughts in. And feel free to merge both issues that were treated this morning.
You see, Moses, our problem is bad leadership. And it became worse under APC. Simplicity that. Except we want to continue to be economically with the truth. I gave the examples here. There were leaders in this country who meant well for this context. Obasanjo went around all over the world to cancel our debt. Look at where we are today. Who built all this debt again? Who built it again? Because of what? Profligacy.
Who built it?
Hold on, who built it? The debt who built it up? Who built this debt? We are hanging on our legs that will not allow us to make progress. Who built it? Who built the debt?
You didn't hear what happened during Jonathan's time?
What happened? How much was Jonathan owing? How much was he owing? Look, can you imagine?
Okay, go
how much was Jonathan owing? What happened during Jonathan? I don't like this type of arguments. It irritates me. You know the truth. You don't want to say it.
Don't be irritated.
No, please don't go there. Don't explain. Somebody printed 35 trillion naira from CBN.
You either
somebody printed 35 trillion naira from CBN. A leader of this country who meant well. Is that not why everything went where it went? Did the PDP print such an amount of money during their time? The PDP print it. The economy that they inherited, what happened to that economy, Mr. Fatuke?
So leadership is the problem.
Yeah? What are you saying? This particular APC leadership, they have gone to plunder Nigeria. Saying so.
We have
under their watch, look at how much we have got. Somebody collected $64 billion of our money and go and dump it somewhere. Are you not aware?
We have not.
You know how much that kind of money will make to this economy? Under APC.
Nobody is saying that.
Look at all the expensive items they are buying all over the place.
Nobody is saying.
This is money they were used to develop Nigeria. This is the money they were used to develop Nigeria that you are now suffering now.
Because you asked it.
Because I asked it.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. This money, and you are telling me, is it that the people that were there before, why didn't they go the same route?
They didn't pocket at all. They didn't pocket at all.
Not at all.
All right, Barrister Darlington, thank you so much.
Hold on.
Okay.
If you have 10 naira in your pocket, somebody gave you 10 naira, and you say, go and do something for me with it. If you take 2 naira and do something with 8 naira, it will not even show that you took 2 naira. But if you reverse it, and you took 8 naira.
All right.
Out of and you now use 2 naira. That 2 naira will not make any impact.
We are saying
You
the
know what
very
I'm
much.
saying?
Thank you very
APC have destroyed the country. There is so. They don't know what they are doing in office.
the former
All right.
the former leaders.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Aki
What is the essence of TV?
an economist and a public
What's the essence of
affairs
TV?
also Barrister Darlington, VOP in-house analyst. Well, we thank you very much for your time and your thoughts. We probably will have a show where you get you go head to head with each other. Well, we must say, well, that's it on the show today. We'll take a break now. When we come back from this break, we'll continue with other aspects of the show. We'll be back after this break. Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Or start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. Showing from 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming
It's
unprepared.
not a bad thing to renovate the president's laws.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills 3 things that makes the society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It's still VOP this morning, and we have Chisom Eminaya in the studio for trend. Good morning, Chisom.
Good morning, Tina. Good
Good morning,
morning, gentlemen. All right, let's get right to trends. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, declared his political dominance, claiming he far surpasses all those supporting Fubara. This statement comes as several PDP governors rally behind the current Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara. Wike, known for his outspoken nature and influential role within the PDP, made this statement during a recent political gathering. Minister Nyesom Wike stated clearly that the governors must be sick if they do not recognize that he, Wike, is bigger than all of them put together. All right, we have a comment from Inso Howdu. Is he not tired? How can one person wake up every morning fighting? He should rest, please. He is not the first to be betrayed in politics, and he will not be the last. After all, he too has betrayed others before. What do you think about this?
Sister, what I think is that we have a very bad political culture in Nigeria. Wike is very boastful. Braggadocious. He's bigger than all the PDP governors. How? With what? Apparently with Rivers money. What did he do before he became governor? Did he have any known business? Did he have an oil company? Did he have a shopping mall?
Just a barrister.
He was a lawyer.
Yeah, he was a lawyer.
Lawyer? Yes, not doing very well in practice, if you ask me. And all of a sudden, he enters into government, first as chief of staff, then minister of state, and then governor. Suddenly, he grows bigger than every other person. And he's putting out that kind of nonsense in River State. And people are hailing him. Is that the way to grow a political culture? The things we do today will haunt us.
Definitely.
Unfortunately,
No society changes whatever it condones.
unfortunately, it's weekend will continue in this line because of the kind of politics that we play, politics of money, and because he knows that he has influenced decisions with his money and put people in positions put people in positions of that's why he would brag the way he's going. It's unfortunate. It's more unfortunate because right now there is no immunity.
Yeah.
As a minister, he's not immune to prosecution. He could be prosecuted. So I blame PDP. I blame Atiku Abubakar for not standing his ground as a leader in the PDP at this time. And I blame the PDP governors for allowing Wike to run amok as he's doing right now. It's really unfortunate. And this is, what politicians coming after will look at and want to, amass so much wealth for themselves, influence so much events so they can be in a position to dictate for others. It's unfortunate that this is the future. This will affect the future of Nigeria.
It's quite unfortunate. But let's get another story. Martin Vincent, widely known as Very
Okay, go ahead.
Very Dark Man, is scheduled to appear before the House of Representatives today, being 30th of September 2024. This section is part of an ongoing investigation into allegations of a 15 million naira bribe involving officials from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Nigerian Correctional Service, and of course, Bobrisky. The House of Representatives has established a special committee to investigate this serious corruption allegation, and the committee aims to uncover the truth behind claims that EFCC officials accepted bribes to drop money laundering charges against Bobrisky. Fifi, what do you think about this?
It's quite interesting.
Oh, that's what you call her, Fifi.
So you heard.
That's a revelation.
It's quite interesting how this whole thing is going, given the fact that this is not the first time Very Dark Man is coming up to talk about a particular person, and then it's either it turned out to be that whatever thing he's saying is true, or there'll be proper investigation. But when he gets to Bobrisky and how he went to Kirikiri over the abuse of the naira and the money laundering charges and all that, one wants to ask what is really happening in Nigeria. But I'm happy that the House of Representatives decided to have a session to hear from both people.
I think it's trivial that the nation's House of Assembly will call them to ask them. It's demeaning. It's demeaning that this is getting to the House of Assembly.
What do you mean by trivial?
It's demeaning.
But when you look at
the relevant agencies should investigate, not
Exactly.
the nation's House of
But when
Assembly.
you now have the
the House of
EFCC,
Reps has done.
when you have the
Is there
EFCC
anything
now,
better than this?
It's unfortunate.
okay,
It's
but
unfortunate.
but let's
That is where they belong.
But let's look at it this way: the anti-graft agency that we would have called upon to say how to investigate this issue. This one is being guarded on this
We don't need to call upon anybody.
15 million, naira.
Okay, we don't need to call upon anybody. Allegations have been made. Information has been put out there.
Yes.
It's their duty to investigate. Now,
Who is
officers,
guilty? EFCC.
excuse me, please. Officers have been suspended.
Yeah.
Now, it is the duty of the prison service to investigate. This allegation is against the prison service. This allegation is against the EFCC. EFCC can investigate itself.
The police can even
Now,
investigate.
The police can investigate.
Now that we have just people being fingered on this particular case, so where or how do we think we're going to get the real thing? I'm talking about the truth. How are we
Well,
going to unveil the truth when we already have them fingered and we have some bosses also called upon on this particular case?
I think,
So
I think Moses'
let the
idea,
National Assembly
Moses'
do what they have
idea
to do.
is that, I mean, this is so trivial that it shouldn't occupy the space in plenary, in National Assembly.
It shouldn't
Yeah.
occupy
You
the
know,
plenary.
because the National Assembly has more serious business to do.
Occupy the
I mean,
plenary.
Nigerians are hungry,
Yeah.
there is insecurity,
What will the questions be?
inflation
Okay, so
is
how do
soaring.
you-
So National Assembly should rather concentrate on how to show up the economy, rejig it so that Nigerians can live like sensible people in their own homeland, in
But
their
since
own
they are not
country.
doing
That
that,
is what we are asking for.
Since
And
they're
it's
not
not
doing it,
much.
we're giving them much to do. Let them help us with this
Honestly,
particular.
It's
and we'll
unfortunate.
definitely see how
Well,
it
we know
unfolds.
that Bobrisky has filed a $1 billion lawsuit against
Yeah.
Very dark man.
Vincent. Oh, well, let's see how this one pans out.
Yeah.
He was a risk, waiting to happen. But I thought in court he declared that he was a man.
Yeah, exactly.
He said he was a man. So
Yes.
whether he looked like a woman, whether he had hips or not, that's not the problem. He said he's a man, so he should be where men are.
Shows you that even the correctional facilities people are confused.
They are confused and they went against court order because he said he's a man, and then he was. Our time is up. Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and that's it on the show. We must say a very big thank you to you for staying with us today. It's been a wonderful morning. Well, on behalf of the crew, the backroom staff, my colleagues here, Chukwuma Okoro, Fina Okechukwu, I am Moses Humphrey. Wishing you a beautiful day. Stick around. Don't go nowhere. Stay with us. 9 o'clock on the DOT. We'll be looking at the papers, and then we'll be going deeper into analyzing the stories from the cover pages of